Gur Ka Darshan dekh dekh jiva, Gur ke charan toye toye piva. Beholding the blessed vision of the Guru's darshan is how I live. I wash the Guru's feet and I consume this water. The idea of having Guru's darshan is considered a pinnacle in the life of a Guru Sikh. You don't have to search very hard to find countless examples in Gurbani of how much importance Guru Sahib gave to the idea of having Guru's darshan. But what does it really even mean to have the darshan of the Guru? If you do an internet search for darshan of Sikh Guru or Sikh Guru's darshan, you'll get a whole array of results from various websites and discussion forums mentioning that Bhai so-and-so or Baba so-and-so or Sant so-and-so has had darshan of Guruji. Overwhelmingly, what they're referring to is that these individuals claim to have seen a physical or human manifestation of one of our Gurus, most often in the form of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, either in a dream or a vision of sorts. Even some prominent Gur Sikhs in our history have made this claim, such as Bhai Desa Singh Ji and revered author and scholar Bhai Veer Singh Ji. Now I think that we can all agree that Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji represents the embodiment of our living Guru. And this is most certainly what Guru Gobind Singh Ji had in mind for us when he bestowed Gur Gaddi to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So then, how do we reconcile this idea of having darshan of a previous embodiment of our Guru? Why would that even be important? The Sikh Rat Maryada issued by Akal Takht Sahib states that doing Matha Tek in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, beholding the Guru's Sangat, and taking hukum from Guru Granth Sahib Ji are what constitute Satguru's darshan. That lifting the Ramala to have a glimpse or a look of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is considered manmat, according to the Rat Maryada. So even in its most fundamental form, Sikh ideology has always inherently demanded that we see past the physical, go beyond the superficial, beyond the senses to even begin our journey of inner transformation. Looking is not enough. Spiritual enlightenment requires introspection and contemplation. When Guru Nanak Sahib Ji converses with the Nath Siddhs in Siddh Ghosh Bani, the Siddhs bluntly ask him, Tera kavan Guru, jiska tum chela? Who is your Guru? Whose disciple are you? And Guru Sahib so eloquently gives the response, Shabad Guru, Sorta tum chela. The Shabad is my Guru, upon whom I lovingly focus my attention. I'm the disciple of the Shabad Guru. Guru Nanak Sahib Ji lays the foundation here for who or what the Guru actually is, making it clear that the body is just a vessel. And it is the Shabad which is to be revered, and it is the Shabad upon which we should focus our attention and reflect. When we explore the lives of our Gurus, we can get additional glimpses of this understanding. When Pailana Ji decided to go meet Guru Nanak Sahib for the first time, he actually meets Guru Sahib on the outskirts of Kartarpur, but he doesn't realize that Guru Sahib is standing in front of him. Now Guruji is on foot, and he offers to lead Pailana Ji to the Dharamsala, and Pailana Ji is on his horse. And when they arrive at the Dharamsala, Guruji asks Pailana Ji to wait inside, while he himself tends to Pailana Ji's horse. And all this time, Pailana Ji is having the physical and visual darshan of Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, but that appears to have no effect on him. Looking upon the Guru's face and looking into his eyes did not transform Pailana Ji. It's not until Guruji enters his darbar as the Guru that Pailana Ji begins to understand the humility and the love and the wisdom of Guru Nanak Sahib. This is said to be Pailana Ji's first understanding of Gurmat. And this understanding is what constitutes Guru's darshan. A slok by Guru Amar Das Ji says, Sadgur no sabko vekda jeta jagat sansar dithe mukht na ho gayi jitchar shabad na kare vichar. All the living beings in the world behold the Satguru, the true Guru. However, ditthya mukta na ho gayi. One is not liberated merely by seeing him, jichar shabad na kare vichar, unless one contemplates the word of his shabad. When Sajjan Thug first meets Guruji, he sees Guru Nanak Sahib, he greets him, he converses with him. He has physical darshan of Guru Sahib in every sense, but he still harbors nefarious intentions within him. He still plots to kill Guru Sahib and steal his belongings. And it's not until he's waiting in the shadows that he hears Guru Nanak Sahib and Bhai Mardana Ji singing, Sajjan se naal main chal dhyan naal chalan, jithe lekha mangiya tithe khade disan. Only after hearing this shabad, only after the shabad pierces his mind, does Sajjan have a change of heart and reflect upon his life and repent. Only through understanding the Shabad Guru was Sheikh Sajjan transformed into a Guru. There are countless other examples in the lives of our Gurus where merely having the physical darshan of Guruji was not transformative. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Bakala is another prime example. As the story goes, nobody could even tell that he was the Guru just by looking at him. Looking upon his physical form is not known to have been transformative. There's a hukam we commonly hear from Guru Nanak Sahib Ji's body. Panda hacha soye jyotis bhavsi, panda tmaleen tota hacha na hoisi. That vessel alone is pure, which is pleasing to Vayu. But even the filthiest vessel cannot become pure just by being washed. Guru dware hoye soji paisi, et dware toye hacha hoisi, that through the Gurdwara, the Guru's doorway, one obtains understanding. And by being washed through this doorway of understanding, it becomes pure. The purity comes through understanding the Guru's message. Guru Sahib tells us, Dikya daru bhojan khaye, Ka Darshan ki soji paye. One who eats as food the medicine of the Guru's teachings obtains the wisdom of the 6 Shastras. Meaning that consuming the Guru's teachings and digesting it within us is what gives us the highest form of wisdom. If our Gurus had placed value in beholding their countenance, if seeing their eyes and looking upon their face could transform manmukhs into gurmukhs and transform sparrows into hawks, then perhaps they might have recruited the best artists in the land to reproduce their likeness in the pages of Adi Granth Sahib, so that today we would possess an anthology of portraits filling 1,430 pages. But our Gurus didn't do that, because that's not what they deemed to be important. The Shabad is what's important, and that is the greatest gift that our Gurus could ever have given us. Guru Arjan Dev Ji gave us the following gift. Gur ki Murat man mein dhyan, Gur ka Shabad mantar man maan. Focus your mind on the image of the Guru, Gur ki Murat. Gur ka Shabad mantar man maan, let your mind accept the Shabad as its mantra. If we take a look at Professor Sahib Singh's discussion of this Shabad, he interprets the phrase Gur ki Murat as Shabad. Plain and simple, that the image of the Guru lies within the Shabad, not within the Guru's physical likeness. As human beings, we easily fall prey to parlor tricks and distractions that have little or nothing to do with our Guru's eternal message. To put it bluntly, we are easily impressed by things that don't matter. Our community tends not to value the innate qualities of a Gurmukh, such as humility, honesty, integrity, hard work, compassion, sacrifice, etc. One need not look beyond the current state of the Panth to see that this is indeed a reality. Instead of gravitating toward people who embody those qualities of a Gurmukh, we tend to gravitate toward the person with the biggest personality, the best talent, or the most impressive story. Bhai Gurdas Ji tells us to keep the Sangat of Gurmukhs and gives us many analogies attesting to what those qualities of a Gurmukh actually are. but nowhere does his Bani describe a Gurmukh as a person who beholds the vision of the Guru's human form. So when we hear about Bhai so-and-so, and Baba so-and-so, and Sant so-and-so having had darshan of Guruji, we can remind ourselves of what Guru Ka Darshan really means according to Gurbani. We can remind ourselves that having visions of a previous embodiment of one of our Gurus, a body that has disintegrated long ago according to Vaheguru's hukum, is not important compared to how our Gurus lived, the lessons that they taught us, and the gift of spiritual wisdom, which is very much alive today in the form of Shabad Guru. What we should covet as Sikhs is not to look upon the human face of our Guru, but instead to receive Guruji's kirpa, to help us understand the Guru's message, and to allow the Guru's bachans to manifest themselves in our lives. Our relationship with our Guru is a personal one, requiring no intermediary. So when we look at our own reflection in the mirror, we should ask ourselves whether we reflect our Guru's teachings in our own thoughts and actions. Understanding it, putting thought into action, and truly living it are how the Gurmukh embodies the message of the Shabad Guru. And this is how we can truly honor our Guru's legacy and experience the darshan of our living Guru. Whatever I've said here today is according to my own limited knowledge and wisdom. Please forgive me for any mistakes or offenses I have made. Tultuk dikhema. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Bole so nihar.